All right, it's that time of the week where we connect with Michelle Ownbey from the Springfield Business Journal to find out what's going on in and around the Springfield business community. Good morning, Michelle. Thanks for taking time and making sure that we get updated on what's going on. Let's get right on into it. You've got a third-generation family-owned company preparing to rebrand a hardware and rental store. What's going on?
Yes, some changes coming to Noonan True Value, and this one hits close to home because I am a frequent customer at that store on North Grand. But as you said, they're a third-generation family-owned company. Matt Noonan IV is currently at the helm. His grandparents started the business just over 75 years ago, actually, right there on North Grand Avenue. But for the last few years, they've had their retail locations on North Grand and Bruns Lane, and then, of course, out there on Cokie Mill, they have the party rental store. And so they're kind of shifting the business operations to focus more on the rental side of things. So the North Grand location will stay open, but it will eventually look a lot like the West Side store does, where they'll have the party rental items. They'll also still do the rentals for contractors and that kind of thing, but they won't have the retail component as far as the hardware store, other than they'll still have the line of grills and the line of generators, but you're not going to be able to go in there and buy a hammer or have them help you find the exact size widget that you need, which is what they're so great at. Their customer service is outstanding.
Well, I imagine that customer service is really going to be more focused on getting people that right piece of equipment to rent, either for that job or for that party.
Yes, they are keeping the staff on board. They're going to be closing the Bruns Avenue location because they actually rent that property. But again, they will keep both North Grand and Cokie Mill, and the vast majority of the staff will stay in place. Just as you said, kind of the job descriptions will shift a little bit, but hopefully still that outstanding customer service that we've come to associate with Noonan's.
We're talking with Michelle Ownbey. She's the publisher of the Springfield Business Journal, and we'll get details out to you how you can get a copy of the SBJ. But this next item is actually kind of 3 in 1. We've got several organizations that are seeing some new personnel, some change of personnel, some people taking some leave. Tell us what's going on at First Bankers Trust Company, but also at St. John's College of Nursing and at Springfield's State Journal-Register.
Yes, as you said, lots of personnel changes these days. I feel like we're usually talking about restaurants and what's shifting in the food industry, but now all of a sudden we've got all these people making moves. Joel Oshwald is the new market president for First Bankers Trust Company. They are a Springfield-based company, Quincy-based company, but they've got their location in Springfield. They're on Wabash Avenue, and Joel was most recently with Town & Country Bank as a commercial lender. Of course, Town & Country is now transitioning to Heartland Bank, but Joel is in a new role as market president for First Bankers Trust. And then, yes, you mentioned there's also a new person coming on board with St. John's College of Nursing. Dr. Charlene Aaron is moving on to Peoria, as I understand it, and Dr. Tracy Krause is coming in from Minnesota, where she's been the head of a school of nursing in Minneapolis. And she's supposed to be here by the end of May, so that will be happening by next month. And then, yes, we also have a temporary new editor for the State Journal-Register. Current editor Lisa Richardson informed the staff at the end of March that she was taking an extended leave of absence for up to 6 months, but seems to be a little bit up in the air as far as when she plans to return. And in the meantime, Leon Tucker is overseeing day-to-day operations of the newsroom. But the catch here is that he's already editor of a paper in Lakeland, Florida. So he's never actually been to Illinois. He's doing this job remotely. So I don't know what could possibly go wrong with that. But
well, we shall see.
How hard can it be, right?
Right. Michelle Ownbey, publisher of the Springfield Business Journal, which is primarily local, focusing on Springfield and the Springfield area, and they've got their eyes on all the things that are happening. So tell us how we can get a copy of the SBJ, but also tell us about how people can share their ideas for future developments. What's all going on there?
Yes, absolutely. There was an event coming up Monday night focused on the 9th Street and Peoria Road corridor. Of course, if you've driven down 9th Street or Peoria Road lately, you don't have to be an urban planner to see that it might need a little help. So Farnsworth, which is a local architecture firm, and some consultants are working with the Regional Planning Commission on a master plan. Of course, it's also part of historic Route 66. We've got the big anniversary coming up in a couple of years, so they're trying to get things cleaned up and looking good and hopefully spur some new development there. So there is a public workshop on Monday from 4 to 7 at what is now Sangamon South. Most people know it as the former SJR building. They're on 9th Street, but just open house format so you can stop by, talk with the consultants, share your thoughts, talk about what you would like to see happen with that very historic corridor that could use a shot in the arm.
And how can people, Michelle, get a copy of the SBJ?
Well, if you go online at springfieldbusinessjournal.com, you can sign up for Biz Bites. That's our weekly newsletter that's free of charge. We'll be coming out later this afternoon. And, of course, you can also sign up to get the print edition delivered directly to your home or office.
Michelle Ownbey, thank you so much for always keeping us plugged in and what's going on. We'll talk again next week, all right?
All right. Thanks, Greg.
It is